lot of people ask me why the 7's or why the 1111s. What's the thing about the numbers with me? I never really intended for my life to be all about numbers. It just kind of happened. And 1111 was its own type of healing process for me. It was an experience that came out of a lot of pain to be the gateway to send me down a path of personal and spiritual growth, of mindset, of emotional intelligence. I didn't know it at the time. I just wanted to create beauty and share that with the world. But ultimately, that's what the 1111 came to mean. It is the 4 pillars of mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical mastery that we are here to endeavor upon. And when we balance those things out and start to really work on them, we move through a gateway of mastery, which is what the master number 11 signifies. So that's where the 1111 came from. But the 7's showed up later, and they showed up because of a life experience and what I was embodying and going through at the time. When we really give ourselves to an experience and we feel everything to its full expanse, then what's going to happen with that level of presence is a tapping into truth, a tapping into wisdom of consciousness, of a field much larger than the smaller periphery that we tend to focus on. We narrow our lives to where we kind of look through a straw. It's as if we block out the big picture because we go so focused into our tiny little lives. And we can use that to serve us. Our own self-absorption can really be a way and a path to enlightenment in itself. If we aren't going to go big, then how about go really, really small? Because within the small is the big, and within the big is the small. And so the 7's have multiple meanings. They are as multidimensional as the books themselves. In the most literal, human, raw sense, the 7 has to do with the 7-year experience that I undertook of trauma, of pain, of grief, of presence, of discovery, of deepening into the darkness, of truly desiring to find out what real light is. And then there's the 7 that has to do with what got me to this point, right? And that had everything to do with the 0 to 7 age stage, because that's where every experience begins. That's where our entire life is created from. And it's nothing mental, emotional, or physical at that point. From the outer sense, it really is more about the physiology of the body and everything that we keep soaking in. We truly are sponges as children. And so that 7 signifies the 0 to 7 in terms of our own natural growth process. And then there's the 7 layers within each blessing, the 7 layers within each illusion of the second book, and the 7 layers within each grace of the third book. It was as if I was shown a ladder of consciousness that really provided the steps and stages, and they happen to be 7 of them, that allow this forward movement and expansion at the same time to really get to know not only the self, but the greater self, the collective self, the global self, and the big picture of what's really going on. And then there is 7 in its most spiritual sense. 7 is a highly spiritual number. It is the ultimate in mastery. It is the big picture. It is the sacred activism and service to collective humanity. And so these 7's are multidimensional, each within themselves. If you put them together, you get 777. Well, we always think of that, as hitting the jackpot. And I truly believe that if we take the time to get to know ourselves, to truly expand and not move towards evolution, but really endeavor upon involution, then we do hit the jackpot. We get to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and we are each that gold. And so I hope that you will find that your presence is enough, and take the time to deepen into each bandwidth of 7 as you move through living, being, and knowing. Until next time, I am Simran, in love, of love, with love, and as love. Be well.